Hello. Now that we understand so much about triads and the four sort of flavors of triads, the major and the minor, the diminished and the augmented, it's time to look at how those chords play in both the major scale and in the natural minor scale. So if you remember, when we have a scale, we can call each note by their number, going up the scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we talk about degrees of a scale. We use a regular letter, and we call it an Arabic numeral, and we put a little caret on it to tell us it's a note, it's a degree of the scale. Or we can call it by name. There's the tonic, the supertonic, the median, the subdominant, and so on and so on. And we have names for them all. Well, we can also build a triad on each of these notes. Use the note that we talked about with that name as a root and build two notes over it in thirds and make a triad. And those triads we can call by their names also. There's the tonic triad, the supertonic triad, the median, the subdominant, the dominant. Or we can call them by number. We can still have the one chord, the two chord, the three, just like we have a 1, 2, 3 steps. But instead of using Arabic numerals, we use Roman numerals. And that's all there is to it. Now I'm going to show you how a major scale works and how the chords in a major scale work. And this is going to become important. It's amazing how often we're going to refer to this as time goes on. Right now it's just going to seem a little bit busy, but trust me, it's very important stuff. So right there you see the first 6 notes with the chords of a major scale. So we have the tonic here. This is a C major scale. Tonic, supertonic, median, subdominant. We have initials there. And you can see that there's a triad built on each one. Now we remember that the triad built on the tonic of any major scale is a major triad because it has a major third and a perfect fifth. That's the definition. And if you looked at each of these triads, you could look for a major third and a perfect fifth. And I'm going to save you the time. The 3 major triads are the tonic chord, the subdominant or the 4 chord, and the dominant or the 5 chord. And these are the chords that we refer to most often: the 1, the 4, the 5, the tonic, the subdominant, and the dominant. These are the 3 chords in blues. It's the 3 chords that every rock musician learns first. It doesn't matter what the key is: the 1, the 4, the 5, the tonic, the subdominant, the dominant. Those are major. And you notice I wrote them with capital Roman numerals. Now, if I look at beyond that, the remaining ones up to 6 are all minor. And we write those with small Roman numerals, which we put little dots over the I's. So they're minor chords. And again, minor means that we have a minor third and then a perfect fifth instead of a major third. And you can calculate that. It's the same for every scale. But you can also trust me, 2, 3, and 6 then. So 1, 3, 1, 4, and 5 are the majors. And up till 6, all the rest are minor. 7 is the exception. So I put 7 on a separate line. 7 is the exception because F to B is not a perfect fifth. It's a tritone. It's a diminished fifth. It's the only diminished fifth in the scale, and it's going to become very important when we talk about tonal harmony and functional tonal harmony. Don't worry about those words yet. I'm just foreshadowing, getting you excited. But so that's got a diminished fifth as its outside. That means that's a diminished chord. And you notice I put a little bit of a circle by the 7 to tell you the 7 chord is diminished. The 7 is always diminished in major. So you have to remember that one. The 7 is diminished. That's a very important chord. We don't have an 8. 8 is 1 again. That's C again. So we go 7 and then we go 1. Tonic, and start all over again. So the 7's diminished. The famous chords, the subdominant, dominant, and tonic, are major. The other 3 chords are minor. And that gets us to all the major chords. That's not too bad. Now, the minor chords in natural minor are not bad either. Because remember how we find natural minor. We take the tonic and we go down 3 notes. So C, B, A. So that's the tonic right there at the very end there, the A of the natural minor. And the only trouble as I go down the scale is I don't get down far enough. I have to go all the way down to A, 2 more notes. So if I just add 2 more chords at the bottom, it's going to be a natural minor. And then our chords just translate. We change the numbers, but they're still majors and minors. So we can figure it out so easily. Let me show you. So I'm going to add those 2 chords, all right? So there's going to be a chord built on B, and then the tonic chord built on A. And it's a minor key now, so the tonic chord's minor. But we can prove that this way. Look, this is so cool. So the 6th chord is now your tonic chord. That's an A minor chord. So instead of being 6, that's now 1. So there's 1, and remember it's minor. 6 is minor. So I'll put it up above. A little 1 for minor. 2 is what used to be the 7 chord. I don't know if you can see that there. So 2, being the 7 chord, is got to be diminished. I put 2 here. Whoops, 2, dot, dot, with a little diminished. Now, what was a 1 chord is now a 3 chord. We see from the sign that's major. So 3 is now major. Make it capital. What's now a 4 was the old 2 chord. All we're doing is adding 2 to each chord. You can see it's the same chord, just 1, 2, 3. We have 4 instead of 1, 2. That's minor. What used to be 3 is now a 5 chord, also minor. What used to be a 4 chord, is now a 6 chord. That's major. See, it's major. The one that used to be a 5 chord is now a 7. Whoops. And that's also major because it was major down there. So all we've done is we've shifted the numbers over by 2 so that the 1 chord is now a 3. The 2 chord is now a 4. The 3 chord is now a 5. We just added 2 to each number and kept the quality absolutely the same. And we get all the chords of the minor scale, and we see which are major and minor. So all we have to know are the majors and then add 2 to everything. Does that make sense? So A minor is a minor, and then we have the diminished chord, which was the old 7, and then we go. 1 becomes 3, 2 becomes 4, 3 becomes 5, 6, 7, and then back to 1. That's it. So once we understand that, we have the basis for figuring out a lot of harmony, because now we know what kind of chord is on what step in both the major and in the natural minor. It'll be a little more confusing when we add the other minors, but oh my gosh, adventure is still to come. We'll talk about those shortly. Bye for now.